Hello friends, I am swallowing all of my pride today, and I'm going to show you my most embarrassing moments right here, live on international TV. Okay, am I zoomed in close enough? Let me try to get you a better angle as much as possible because I want you to be able to see what I'm doing. Okay, and the reason, sorry about all the shaking. The reason I'm passing this on is because I want you to be a better portrait painter. I want to be a better portrait painter more than I want you to be one. So anyway, here I am. I had these two faces, I thought, nearly finished. This guy is really close. The girl, she looks like a lovely woman, and you can tell it's supposed to be her, but something's slightly off. And if I'm talking to anybody that's tried to do a portrait before, you know exactly what I'm talking about. Dang, something's slightly off. You know, if I get my head in here, it'll be uncomfortably up close. So I'll just let you watch me, my hand. Here's what I did. I took my phone and I took a close-up picture of this painting. Then I took a close-up picture of the photograph. Same thing with the guy, painting, photograph. Then in my phone, camera phone, I edited these photographs. The first thing I did, and this is the part I want you to get, I flipped them or flopped them horizontal. So I turned the lady's face this way, and in an app called something, Photo Grid Maker or something like that, I put these 4 images and then printed it out. The painting and the photograph, both flopped. And then the painting and the photograph the right way. Now here's, let me back this up because you need to see my face on this, okay? Okay, so here's what I want you to get. Forgive me, I'm moving all over the place, aren't I? There we go. It's me. Hi, Dan here. In my studio, not looking out the front door of my studio. I'm quite irritated with myself. I like to think I'm better than this. I like to think with a reasonable amount of work, I can nail a portrait. Alas, that is not true. With a moderate amount of work, I can still screw up the photograph. Good news is I know some tricks, and this is what I want to teach you. Back to broad principles. Why do we screw up on photographs? One huge on portraits. I mean, why do we screw up? One huge principle. It's what I call portrait blindness. Portrait blindness. What happens is that after staring at your work, your portrait for 10, 20, 30, not 10, 20, 30 minutes, you can't see it anymore. You're blind to it. Does that make sense? A huge principle. Therefore, you have to do something to restore your vision. By the way, this is also why I can walk up to your portrait and instantly, boom, 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 tack off the 5, 6, 7 things that are wrong. By the way, I am partly embarrassed, but I've also seen the biggest big dog American portrait painters in the country alive today screw up too, okay? You know the big names. My name is Daniel Nelson, and 2 of the biggest names in portrait have the word Nelson and the word Daniel in them. That's all I'm going to say. And I've seen these guys screw up. So that encourages me because I'm a mere mortal, and evidently so are they. But I want you to understand this principle of portrait blindness. There's several things you have to do. The most traditional thing is you go to bed and get up the next morning. The problem is that only works so many times. I've looked at this, I've been working on this portrait off and on, you know, an hour here, an hour there, an hour here, an hour there for a week. Therefore, going to bed and sleeping on it really doesn't work anymore. So you have to get trickier. Let me show you the #1 tool I'm just going to turn you around. Right here, the #1 tool for dealing with portrait blindness is that thing right there on my wall. What is it? It's a mirror. So you're seeing the back of my easel. You're seeing my face. Okay, mirror, mirror on the wall. Who's the greatest tool of all? The answer is the mirror. Just made that up right there. So if you're working on a portrait and it doesn't look exactly right, grab yourself a mirror and look at your portrait. So you'll have to have your back to your portrait. You understand? You can figure this out. And look at the mirror. Look at your portrait in the mirror. Now, another way to do that is to grab your phone. I have an extra phone down here somewhere. A camera is what I really mean to say. Not your phone, but your camera, which for most of us these days doubles as a phone, right? Take a picture of your painting, and then in the editing app, you all have edit apps in your phone. If you don't know them, what the heck are you doing with this thing, man? This is a computer made for editing photographs. Incidentally, it has texting and telephone, but all that stuff is secondary. If you're an artist, that's a phone with a computer. Anyway, you take a photo and then in editing, you flop it to see a mirror image. So you got the mirror picture here. Are you with me? So now you have a mirror image and so that's what I have done here. Let me turn you back around then and let you look at my portrait mirror correcting process. Okay, there's my two wonderful faces that are oh so close to being correct, but they're not quite correct. So back to this. So I took a picture with my phone and flopped it. Boom. The same thing with the original photograph. Flopped it. And then made a grid. This is the main thing. This is the main one right here. Because in a mirror, I could see my mistakes. And here you can see I sat down, cool, calm, and collected at my kitchen table and compared this to this. See, now I'm not portrait blind anymore. Does this make sense to you? Here, I can't see it because this is what I've been looking at for a week. This is the portrait, the photograph I've been looking at for a week. I can't see anything here, but I'll tell you why I put that there in just a minute. But here, I can see all of my mistakes. First thing is like, oh, doggone it. This eyebrow is supposed to be here about a 1/16 of an inch longer than it is here, than it is in my painting. Then the bridge of the nose needs to move this far. Nostril a little skinnier. The philbum, teeth. All these. So I came up with 9 different changes that I saw instantly as soon as I saw it because I had fresh eyes. I hope that's making sense to you. Okay, then why did I also print out? By the way, I put these together in just any old photo grid app. Just go to your store and find a PhotoGrid app that you like. But the question is then, why did I also print them up frontwards? The reason is my painting is this way. So I can see all of my mistakes here, but that doesn't necessarily mean I can translate them. So here on this correct version, I transferred all of my notes from here to here. Now I know exactly what to do on my painting. So let me proceed. I'm not going to make you watch me all of this. I'm not going to make you watch me do all of this because it would be a little bit too boring. But here we go. I just kicked your stand. Are you okay? Yep, you are. Okay, so now I'm looking not at this anymore. That would help me see my mistakes. Now I'm looking at this and this perhaps a little bit, and I say, oh yeah, this eyebrow actually about 1/8 of an inch longer. That's on a face this size, 1/8 of an inch is huge. And I think to myself, dang, how could I be so stupid as to not see that? Well, the reason is, again, I want you to hear this. The reason I'm so stupid is because of portrait blindness. And again, I want you to understand, any of you, if you're good at portraits, you could have looked at this photograph and looked at my painting and go, because you're not portrait blind, you go, oh, eyebrow's too short. And I go, doggone it, you're right. And you could have listed maybe all 9 of these things that I've seen. Okay? I hope that makes sense to you. And this is the kind of dirty little secret that I wish all struggling portrait painters knew. Now, back in the day, before phones, of course, the mirror was our only secret weapon. But the phones, of course, have become a huge, huge benefit to us. So use that phone. If you don't want to use a phone, use a mirror. You just have a harder time printing out the image on a mirror. That's a joke. Okay, can't be done. Okay, now I'm looking again. What other change? Oh, yeah. So the bridge of the nose is too far in. Needs to move to the right about a 1/16 of an inch. By the way, I'm rather glad that I can use my left hand to do this, because otherwise I'd have to be turning the painting upside down so I could do that line. It's pretty hard to do it this way. The brush doesn't cooperate. Okay, so that's change number 2, and etc. I'm going to go through all 9, making all these minor changes. When I'm done, I'll be 95% perfect on her face, and then I'm going to do the same thing on him. He is actually very close. I only had how many? I'm looking for 6 very minor changes on his face. So I actually captured his likeness better than hers. But that's enough. I hope some of you aspiring portrait painters are going to watch this. Okay? So, and if you're not an aspiring portrait painter, please pass this episode on to somebody who is, because they need to see this. Let's not waste my mistakes, shall we? I'm here for you, man. I'm here for you. So take advantage of my screw-ups and send this to somebody else so they don't screw up. Thanks for watching.